There is a new Chancellor in Germany. In the last few minutes, Friedrich Merz has been formally confirmed in his position, but it has not been straightforward for the Conservative leader. He lost a confidence vote this morning. He was 6 votes short.
Germany's new Chancellor, Friedrich Merz, represents a significant shift in Europe's political landscape. His election is crucial, not just for Germany, but for the entire continent. Known for his conservative views and pragmatic approach, Merz is expected to play a pivotal role in shaping German and European policies, particularly regarding economic reform, foreign policy, and the future of the European Union.
There will be time to applaud in a moment, but I would like to note that MP Friedrich Merz has now got the necessary majority of 316 votes. According to Article 63, Para 2, he has now been elected Chancellor of the Federal Republic of Germany. Now, before you all come and congratulate him, I would like to ask you for a moment here, because we have to ask the Chancellor whether he wishes to accept the result. MP Merz, do you accept the result of these elections? President of the Bundestag, I'm grateful for the trust and I accept the results of voting. Chancellor, congratulations on behalf of the entire Parliament on your election. I wish you a lot of strength and a lot of success in tackling all of the challenges facing you. And the result of this election is one that I will now share with the German President. And for the MPs, what that means is that we expect at 6:15 p.m. the swearing of the oath of office. We will inform you by a gong and will resume this session in plenty of time. So 6:15 is the time that I've been told for the swearing of the oath of office. Should it be sooner, we will let you know. It depends on how quickly the traffic allows you to go to the Belfry Palace. I now interrupt proceedings.
And that is not really the end, but the happy ending, at least. Halfway through a very long day for now almost Chancellor Friedrich Merz. He has to still go to the Belfry Palace to accept the post from the German president and then return to the Bundestag to swear the oath of office. Richard Walker here in the studio with me. What a day.
Yeah, what a day.
What do you think is going through Friedrich Merz's mind now?
Yeah, so let's, of course, we just came to that. It got slightly clipped. So 325 votes is what he got this time.
Still 3 short from the number of MPs in his coalition.
That's right. So his coalition, if you add the parties together, has 328. In the first round, now 6 hours ago or so, the result came through that he had 310. So he's managed to add 15 members of that coalition, but there seem to be 3 pretty stubborn holdouts. It's going to be interesting to see if those names ever kind of come through, if anybody actually kind of outs themselves as somebody who didn't support him even on this second round. But you can see the relief on his face. And I think, as we've just heard, it was great to talk to Katja Hoyer just then, but as you started to see in the little box in the corner, Friedrich Merz coming back into the chamber, it made me recall 6 hours ago when he was coming back into the chamber after the first round. And that first time he looked pretty deathly kind of pale, and this time his body language was definitely more positive. So, and what we see here is people from all sorts of parties kind of lining up to congratulate him. So he's just shaking the hand there of Heidi Reichenegger. She's one of the leaders of the Left Party.
Not a fan of Merz's.
Not a fan of Merz normally, and one of the kind of surprise stars of the election just earlier this year, who came through and had a terrific social media presence, and the Left Party did much better than expected. They're a party very much on the opposite pole of German politics from the Conservatives, but they contributed to what we're seeing here by going along with this idea of pulling forward this vote today.
Merz, a longtime member of the Christian Democratic Union, CDU, has had a significant political career, with a return to the spotlight after stepping back for several years. His election as Chancellor follows a period of political upheaval in Germany. His leadership is seen as a return to conservative values, marking a departure from the centrist policies of Angela Merkel. Merz aims to navigate Germany through its post-pandemic recovery and Europe's growing political uncertainties. One of Merz's primary focuses is economic reform. He advocates for fiscal discipline, aiming to reduce government spending, cut taxes, and balance the national budget. Merz believes austerity measures and fiscal responsibility are necessary to secure long-term economic stability. However, critics argue that such policies could hinder economic growth, especially during Germany's recovery phase, and negatively affect vulnerable groups. Supporters, on the other hand, view this as a necessary approach to ensure Germany avoids future debt crises. On foreign policy, Merz has made it clear that he intends to adopt a firm stance, particularly towards NATO, Russia, and China. He's a strong supporter of NATO, seeing the alliance as critical to European security. Merz has voiced support for tougher sanctions on Russia, particularly regarding its actions in Eastern Europe, and advocates for a more robust deterrent strategy.
Germany's new Chancellor, Friedrich Merz, says that he fully backs U.S. President Donald Trump's proposal for a 30-day unconditional ceasefire in Ukraine. Now, that statement came as Merz made his first official visit to Brussels. Speaking alongside the NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, Merz said that he supports the idea for a month-long ceasefire. But he also warned that Germany is prepared to impose further sanctions on Russia if the Kremlin refuses to engage in peace talks. Merz says Russia now needs to take the initiative in ending hostilities.
The ball is exclusively in Moscow's court right now. It's exclusively there to decide whether there is an opportunity to start at the beginning of next week with a longer ceasefire in Ukraine, and to make room for talks about a permanent peace in Ukraine. It's another test case, if you will, a very precise one, about how serious the Russian president is about reaching a permanent peace in Ukraine.
All right, let's get more now from our correspondent, Lucia Schulten. She's in Brussels. Lucia, the Chancellor Merz spoke about the possibility of a ceasefire in Ukraine. What does that tell us about prospects for diplomacy?
Yeah, whether these prospects are good or bad, that is really difficult to say. But what is certain is that there is certainly a push right now going on. So we have heard from Friedrich Merz that he thinks that there is a real chance to get this 30-day ceasefire. And also we have heard from the Ukrainians that tomorrow they expect heads of state from the so-called coalition of the willing in Ukraine. So the coalition of the willing is spearheaded by UK and France, but we do not yet know which heads of state are traveling to Ukraine tomorrow. We have also heard from Friedrich Merz that in case that Vladimir Putin is not going to seriously engage in peace talks, he and European partners as well as the US are ready to put up pressure in sanctions and to put more pressure on Russia. And this is certainly his way of trying to pressure Russia into these peace talks.
Regarding China, Merz seeks to reduce Germany's economic dependency on China, particularly in sectors like telecommunications and infrastructure. This aligns with broader European concerns over China's increasing influence. Merz is also committed to Germany's role within the EU, but he has expressed skepticism about further EU centralization. He advocates for a rebalancing of power, emphasizing that national governments should retain greater control over their own affairs. On immigration, Merz has proposed stricter border controls and more robust integration policies. While he acknowledges the need for immigration to support Germany's labor market, his rhetoric has raised concerns about the potential rise of nationalism and xenophobia. His proposed policies are likely to emphasize the importance of controlled immigration while limiting the scale of irregular migration into Germany. Domestically, Merz is expected to focus on reforming Germany's social welfare systems, including healthcare, pensions, and education. His reforms aim to reduce bureaucracy, improve efficiency, and make the system more sustainable in the long run. However, the details of these proposals remain unclear, and their impact on those relying on social welfare programs will need to be carefully considered. Merz's leadership also comes at a time of political fragmentation in Germany, with the rise of far-right and environmentalist parties. The far-right Alternative for Germany, AfD, and the growing influence of the Green Party will challenge Merz in balancing the demands of the conservative base and the broader electorate. His ability to unite Germany's center-right political factions while appealing to the wider electorate will be key to his success. On the European stage, Merz's leadership could steer the EU towards a more conservative and pragmatic path. While Germany has traditionally been a key supporter of deeper European integration, Merz's skepticism about EU centralization may influence the future of the Union. His approach could lead to a greater focus on national sovereignty, which may cause tension with countries that favor a more federal Europe. Friedrich Merz's election as Chancellor marks a new era for Germany and Europe. His conservative views on fiscal policy, foreign relations, and EU integration will likely have a significant impact on both Germany's domestic policies and its role in the EU. Merz's leadership will influence Europe's economic and political landscape, particularly as the continent faces challenges related to recovery, migration, and geopolitical stability. Only time will tell whether Merz's vision will strengthen Europe's independence or contribute to further fragmentation. Either way, his election signals the beginning of a new chapter for Germany and Europe.